Like I said, got the equipment here, and this is one of the that's called Ike's Rap off of Isaac Hayes. And maybe if you caught the show about a year or so ago, I sampled that on here, and it's been used by Biz Marquis. It's been used by Just Blaze. He sampled it for a track on Beanie Siegel's album. Puff Daddy used it on a Mary J. Blige album. I mean, it's like Jordans in hip hop. I mean, you know, pretty much everybody at one point or another has played with it, and so I actually, this was years ago, maybe about 9-10 years ago. I'm gonna try to recreate this beat. I don't even know what the tempo is anymore. Everything I'm doing is gonna be live. I actually did remix the Jay-Z Black album, and I used that sample for 99 Problems. So and then it came out. It was nice, needless to say. Just try to be modest about it. It was nice. I'll leave it at that. But for the sake of time, I already got all my samples laid out, and I already got them chopped. I don't know what the tempo is. I don't remember. I'm gonna figure it out on the fly right now. But this is the original speed of the pretty much of the sample. And what I'm gonna do, I speeded it up to this right here, and I speeded it up to that tempo right there. And so now I'm gonna figure out what the tempo actually is and see what happens, you know? So let's see. Lay that up on. Usually sometimes I start with the sample, sometimes I start with the drums, but for the sake of just keeping my time, I start with the drums, the sample. I might have got lucky, honestly. I really didn't know what the tempo was, but it sounded like it might have been somewhere 93 beats a minute. It's a little off, so I got to speed it up just a hair. And this is literally what I go through while I'm in the studio. Lil Mo. 2. And when on that click is on that snare. There we go, we almost there. So it's about 94. I started it at 93. Really didn't remember what it was. This was years ago, y'all. Okay, so now I got that in. And I'll go through these drums, see what I have on here. Like I said, usually I like to make my drums, and when I say make them, mean them. I'll have a variety of drums, and I tune them one way to make one specific drum, and I don't have a science for it. When it sounds right to me, that's when I know I hit it, you know. So I'm gonna see what that's a drum there. So let's see. I don't know. I don't think I want to use that one. That's a snare. Okay, so I like that snare. I'll start with that. I love that sample there, man. One of my favorite samples of all time. And I love hi-hats. I mean, everybody does things different. Some people like their hi-hats to do like this, which is 1/8 notes. You know, I mean, that's cool, you know, that's cool to each his their own. But I'm Mantronics and Manny Fresh all day. I mean, they heavily inspired me, so I'm like this. This is how I roll with it. You know, I gotta have them rolling, you know. And I like to put my little triplets in there. Shouts out to DJ T, him and Dart. They pretty much taught me most of the stuff that I know on this machine. I remember one time calling T, how I make the hi-hat go. He said you gotta hold down a note. So shouts out to DJ T. You changed my life once you told me that, bro. And you're gonna hear what he told me to do right here. You hear it? How it rolls like that. And so now, got my hi-hat. Now I put a crash in there just for transition. Just hit it one time. I'm making this on the fly, y'all, I promise. I didn't do this when I was at home before I came here. I haven't heard some of these sounds in here in years. My little fake turntable, that's before I knew how to cut, so I had to get a record to give it that sound. Matter of fact, I want to change that tempo just a little bit. Shouts out to Jam Master J, rest in peace. And give it that feel like a DJ does. I like that. On the tambourine, I'll put that in the back. I don't really, sometimes the music just tells me what to do. I don't have a set thing, okay, well, I'm gonna make the snare do this, I'm gonna make this do that. Now, once I catch a vibe, it does it. So, you know, I'm in the little zone right now. And see how it transitions, and it's building. Hey, that's one of my favorite artists ever. This is actually Prince. I forgot I sampled this. He had a song called Alphabet Street, and when it come on, he go, no! So I sampled that, so I think I'm gonna throw that in there. I forgot I even had this, y'all. This is like, wow, utopia. I'll put it toward the end. Yeah, so I don't want to put that one in there. Yeah, so I think I didn't know that was in there. Okay, that one. Let's see. I don't want that one. Okay, that's a different. Gotta check them first, y'all. Let's see. Now, I didn't put a bottom drum in there yet. So I'm gonna, whatever's in here, I'm gonna work with it, you know, because I mean, this is pretty much the whole kit that I used to remix that Jay-Z 99 Problem. So I'm gonna use the drum that's in there. I like that one. Turn it down just a hair. Okay. Now, the sample, some people say they can do a beat in 15 minutes. I can't do that because my ear's so meticulous. I'm hearing some low frequencies in the sample, like meaning I can still hear the kick. I don't want to hear the kick in it, so I'm gonna tune the sample a little bit more. So some people, shouts out to y'all that's making beats in 15 minutes. I mean, no disrespect, but I'm trying to get on Quincy Jones level, and I know he wasn't producing songs in 15 minutes, so I want that whole sound to be right. So I can't do beats in 15 minutes. I'm too meticulous about my sound. So even hearing a sample now, I want to tune it a slight bit different. Try to sample as much as the drums out as I can, which is kind of hard. Because usually what I would do is say, for instance, I would this sample that I sampled, I would sample it again into my Pro Tools, then I would filter out the lows in it so you wouldn't hear the kick, but for the sake of not bringing my whole studio here, I won't do that. But just let it roll how it is, and it's pretty decent, so I want to put a bottom in there. I see I got a bottom right there, so I'm going to drop that in there somewhere. Let's see. You probably can't hear it. I mean, unless you got your TV hooked up to the surround sound, you probably can hear the bottom, but because it's such a low frequency, it's probably not gonna come through on the TV. But I hear all that little neon knick-knack stuff makes a difference. So what we gonna do? I'm gonna listen to this. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back and play around a little more before we get out of here. So y'all don't go no. We are back, Mr. Wayne, Hip Hop and Fashion, just playing around with the equipment. This music edutainment, you know what I'm saying? Producer 101. So pretty much got the meat of a beat done. You know, I already had my stuff tuned, and it wouldn't go this quick if I was at the crib, because I'd be meticulous about tuning my snares till I'm happy with it. But I already tuned this stuff years ago, and I'm pretty happy with it. So this is kind of where we at right now. And like I said, it's a sample that was used by Biz Markie, Mary J. Blige, Just Blaze. And I like to add a little breakdown there, you know, do something a little different to it. And shouts out to Jack Spratt. He actually, he heard and he's like, man, I want to do something to it. So I was like, well, handle your business, bro. And you know, dude killed it. So, you know, put a little breakdown in there right quick before we get out of here. You know, let's see. It may sound redundant like that, but you know, there is a method to my madness. You know. Okay, let's see. Now I'm just seeing what sound. Okay. So now put a little breakdown on that. Sounds, all the little stuff makes a difference, so add one more thing to that so you can kind of hear where I'm going, and I'm basically sequencing it. It's almost like putting little pieces of a puzzle together.
Ow! Ladies, we just ain't.
You know, so finding just different little parts to put in there. Let's see. There we go, I want that snare. Okay. Sounds simple by itself, right? Watch how it sounds as a whole. Just simple little stuff to bring your beats out, you know? So it transitions. So beat making 101. Break it down again, y'all. It's always fun playing around with y'all on Hip Hop and Fashion. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you're watching, you're like, Mama, a kid watching like, Mama, I don't want them Jordans, I want an MPC 2000, you know. Get that for your kid, you know. It can turn you into a millionaire, you know, it can keep him off the streets, keep him out of trouble. Because I mean, this machine here, shoot, I lock myself up in a room many days and months at a time just vibing out off of this. And so, you know, glad y'all tuned in. Y'all can go home, watch something else, but you better be back Tuesday to watch us.